just a little bit about apples. I think of all the things I could work on, I'm thrilled to be working on apples because there's such a positive image of it. I mean, I'm glad I'm not working on tobacco or whatever else I could have worked on in agriculture. There is one particular product that has tried to make that name their own, and they've done a pretty good job of it. In fact, sometimes when I speak to younger people, I say, well, I'm an apple breeder. And they said, oh, how do you breed computers? I mean, I didn't even know that was possible. So at some point, you have to be confident enough that you're finding that you know what you're looking for. It's not like wine tasting, where I have to describe the fruity, oaky, full-bodied, fruit-forward flavor, you know. This has to be enough to catch a consumer's attention. And you can make apples into all the nuances that wine drinkers do. But the fact is that most apple buyers don't eat apples that way. I used to always think about, what if I threw away the next Honeycrisp? You know, like, wow. But then it dawned on me that most of these are going to be also-rans no matter what. And all you have to do is recognize the diamond when you see it. And if you can't recognize it, then it wasn't that good. Most of these varieties only get tested 7 years before they get thrown away. So these were already the best of the best of the first group. Now they go into testing, most of them get thrown away. So it's very difficult to find an apple that has all 20 of these characteristics in the right balance. And so in fact, this takes, after 15 to 20 years of further testing, only about 1 out of 10,000 of them is good enough to go on and be released. So I say it's kind of like walking up and down a beach for, actually, that's 15 years after it's been selected, looking for diamonds in the sand. And you find a lot of not diamonds. There's a lot of junk out there, and you weed through it, and then you find a diamond every now and then. And as a breeder of parents and of children, I only have one child, I can tell you that it's much easier to name a child than it is an apple. There's nobody that says, no, you can't do that. I mean, yes, you might cause your child some trauma in their early years or something. All right, well, a little bit then, just to conclude our newest variety. This is the variety that Capsule was involved with us on the naming. Its testing number was Minnesota 1955. We've shortened that up to Min 55. It's a Honeycrisp offspring, has this wonderful crispness that Honeycrisp does, but a much tartar apple. This is a much higher acid, more like the old Haralson, but with a Honeycrisp texture. So naming, well, this process took a little over 2 years. Fortunately, when we got involved with Capsule, it went much faster. So as I said, the stakes are kind of big because we market these apples, we license them around the world. So we need to get this right. We don't want to be the manure stick of the apple world. So this was when we called on the professionals and got Capsule involved with it. The name we really needed for national use is Rave, and that's the one that Capsule helped us come up with. So we have a partner in Washington that's going to be doing all the growing and marketing of this. They've embraced Rave. So the good news is that fruit should start to be available next year, and certainly by the following year. So it's coming. You've heard it here first. You heard the names.